Welcome back to a new post today. India's astronomic observatory completed 10 years, and this is the Astrosat that was launched in 2015. It played a major role in astronomy and also exploration as well. So let's look at some of the most important points with regard to Astrosat that has completed a decade and has contributed immensely to space exploration, especially as a satellite being launched by the ISRO. Now, it is the first dedicated, the most important point is that it is the first dedicated space astronomy observatory, Astrosat, and it has completed now a decade of operations. It was launched in 2015 by the BSLV C-30 rocket carrying the Astrosat, and it lifted off from the Satish Dhawan Space Center at Sriharikota. In the last decade, it observed multi-wavelength space observations with 5 key payloads that it carried. The 5 payloads are the ultraviolet imaging telescope, the large area X-ray proportional counter, the cadmium zinc telluride imager, and the soft X-ray telescope, and along with it, the scanning of the sky monitor. Now, Astrosat was realized by ISRO with the participation of all major astronomy institutions of India, including the Inter-University Center for Astronomy and also the Astrophysics Fundamental Research and Indian Institute of Astronomics, and along with that, the Raman Research Institute as well. And some of the universities of India and 2 institutions of Canada and UK also participated. Now, it was designed to observe the universe in all the wavelengths of the spectrum. That is the visible light, the ultraviolet light, the low and the high energy X-ray regions of the electromagnetic spectrum simultaneously with the help of all these payloads. So it was in the last decade, this multi-wavelength space observatory has made interesting discoveries in India, and apart from that, from the black holes to the neutron stars, from the nearest Proxima Centauri to the first time detection of the FUV photons, and from galaxies 9.3 billion light away, Astrosat has enabled groundbreaking insights across the electromagnetic spectrum from UV to visible high energy rays through X-ray range, and therefore this mission of the astronaut was successfully congratulated by ISRO for the exciting contribution that it gave. Its mission life was first only for 5 years, but then it interestingly continued for the decade, and it made important contributions. Now, it is a general observatory with the main scientific focus on simultaneous wavelength monitoring of intensity variations in a broad range of cosmic sources. It monitors the X-ray sky for new transients. It monitors the sky survey with hard X-ray and UV bands, and a broadband spectroscopic studies of X-rays, clusters of galaxies, and stellar coronae as well. It studies periodic and non-periodic visibility of X-rays as well. It performs multi-wavelength observations across the broad spectrum bands from radio, optical, infrared, UV, and X-ray. Both the studies are specific sources of interest, and also surveys are undertaking, and it is one of the few countries that now India has made contributions through this. It is basically a space telescope. What exactly is a space telescope? It is a telescope located in the outer space and not on the surface of the Earth. It is used to observe astronomical objects, and it was first suggested by Spitzer in 1946. The first operational space telescope was of America. The orbiting astronomical observation, what was launched in 1968, and then the Soviet Union Orion 1 space telescope. India had its first multi-wavelength space telescope as Astrosat that was launched in 2015, and with this success, now India is planning Astrosat 2 along with the successor of Astrosat. The success of the satellite-borne Indian X-ray astronomical experiment was the success of Astrosat, was conceived after the success of IXAE, that is the Indian X-ray Astronomy Experiment, that was launched in 1996 by the Indian Space Research Organization, or ISRO, and then it further went on to develop Astrosat in 2004. The number of astronomy research institutions of India have contributed, and they have jointly built the instruments for the satellite. Important areas requiring coverage of include studies of astrophysical objects ranging from the nearby solar system objects to distant stars and objects of cosmological distances. Time studies of variables ranging from pulsation of hot white dwarfs of those of active galactic nuclei can be conducted by the Astrosat as well, with time scales ranging from very small milliseconds to days as well. As I told you, it is a multi-wavelength astronomy mission, and it is in the equatorial orbit. The 5 instruments helped it to do this multi-wavelength study, which includes the visible rays, the UV rays, the soft X-rays and the hard X-rays as well. So the sanctioned cost of Astrosat was 177 crore rupees, and it was successfully launched in 2015. And now, based on the success of this Astrosat, the ISRO is now conceiving Astrosat 2, which will be launched very soon. Apart from that, the payloads have done some really groundbreaking experiments when they were on board Astrosat, especially performing imaging in simultaneously 3 channels, focusing on optics and deep deletion of the camera. Apart from that, there was X-ray timing and low resolution spectral studies. We had a hard X-ray imager which consisted of cadmium zinc telluride detector and scanning sky monitors. Now this mission is going to help India, especially when it comes to the Chandrayaan, when it wants to carry out even objects like the Astrosat, which can study the astronomy in multi-wavelength, and it can be on board. Apart from that, even the Bharatiya Antariksha Station is also going to benefit from such payloads as well, especially with regard to astronomy and astronomical investigation further, to know many secrets of the universe. So this is a groundbreaking achievement of India, where the lifespan was 5 years, but it went on to work for a decade. And India is also working in an Indian deep space network as well. Astrosat will help in this as well. So these are some of the important points I thought I should be discussing with the importance of Astrosat, that has completed a decade, very important from Science and Technology GS paper 3, as well as for those who prepare for group, especially from paper 5 Science and Technology. If you did, please do like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to comment at the end of the video. I shall see you in my new post. Until then, it's very happy learning.